Demo versus MaxGentleman, that might be an exciting one. It's a game I personally cannot really judge too well. It's obviously also gonna heavily depend on what segment we actually gonna be running here. I do expect Demo to win. He also is the favorite, but I'm excited, and honestly, why lose any more time? We have such a long day ahead of us anyway. I will give it to Rake, and he can take it over for the veto.
All right, thank you, Storm. So, Max, as the lower-seeded player, you do have the choice of deciding who's going to ban first.
All right. So I'm gonna learn from my mistake and ban the Let's Play right now.
All right. Demo.
I actually realized
Did
we
we
have
lose
some.
him?
Oh yeah.
I think, yeah, he disconnected. Okay, we're having some tech issues.
Okay,
Saying
great.
his Discord bugged.
I will, not DM, but I will just communicate him via text chat. That should work.
That is fine. We'll just read out his bans for him. As long as his stream is still up.
Yeah, we can just communicate via that. Oh, he's doing a quick PC restart. Well, hopefully he can. We can go through the ban process in the meantime. We can at least get this sorted out during an intermission.
Yeah, that would be a little bit unfortunate. No, I didn't realize when he actually disconnected, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. And I think even then, when I remember hearing it and didn't realize it was him, it was also at the worst time possible because we were just getting started with introducing the matchups.
Yeah, right. Had it happened like, I don't know, 2 minutes before, and we were just cut to intermission or something, but like,
Or
this
even
is
like
a
10
bit
seconds, we could have
unfortunate.
possibly caught it.
Yeah, oh, he's in the waiting room again.
Alright,
There
perfect.
you go. Hello.
Yeah, my PC just, I don't know what happened. It just bugged out and like it wouldn't let me rejoin, and then it started like zooming in. I don't even know. I don't even know.
It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, what matters is you're here now. That
Yeah.
being said, what would you like to ban?
Dude, has already been a ban? Oh,
Max ban Blitz play.
okay. I'm gonna say ban Epsilon.
Okay. Alright, what's your next ban, Max?
Gonna ban all stun jumps.
Okay. Demo?
All races.
We won't be seeing that yet.
All right. The turn away.
Alright.
I will ban Deep Inside.
Fresh meat.
Alright. Demo, what is your final ban?
All right. Let's do some Trevor%. Let's do it.
So you're
Why not?
banning countries.
Yeah.
Alright. That gives us we've seen this one a fair bit during the tourney so far. Maybe not quite so much as third way, but this was a popular round 1 choice. Not so much during round 2 though, although we're only really halfway done essentially with it, so maybe we'll make a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, very, very interesting. We've had it. We opened up this entire tournament with back-to-back Trevors, and I don't think we've had it since. So, honestly, I was hoping for Countryside in this one-on-one, but I don't even mind seeing a little bit of Trevors. That also gives me 100% commentator coverage for Trevor%, which I'm personally not too fond of, but it's fine. We're gonna be heading into a quick break. You're gonna see a little explanation of the Swiss system that we're going to be using here in Summer Segment Scramble 2. Run a scrap there, well, not save files, but load into Prologue, and then we're going to be back in roughly 90 seconds.
Alright, welcome back everyone. We are going to have a Demomute versus MaxGentleman Trevor% race. Their PBs do have a couple minutes difference, but in theory there could be a little bit of room for an upset here depending on how things go. Storm, would you like to go ahead and count us in?
Of course, we did go over the procedure just now, but once again for the audience, going to be counting them from 3 down to go. On go, the runners will just hit enter, retry, and then off they go. So, Demo, Max, are you both ready?
Yes.
Very cool. In that case, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And off they go. Very
All right.
interesting. 12%. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. Was mentioned before. It is, I think, Max's strongest segment. And Demo granting him that basically is a little bit of a surprise for me personally. I don't know about you.
I mean, even if it's the strongest segment, the important the important statistic is not what's your opponent's strongest, but where the biggest distance between you and your opponent is. And even looking at this, Demomute having a low 58 PB while Max having a high 102, Demomute could lose 2 minutes, which I think is pretty comfy and average for a Trevor percent race compared to PB. And even then, he's still comfortably ahead of MaxGentleman's PB. So I think in order for there to be any sort of upset realistically, there would have to be a serious personal best coming from MaxGentleman.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Trevor's obviously, it's a very raw segment, I guess, in that sense. There's not a lot of RNG involved that could really screw you over. Like, I mean, yeah, friend request, right? But that's not gonna make a huge difference. Like, I feel like we'd almost have to have like a shockingly bad or shockingly good friend request for the respective runner, on top of some carbine memes for Demo for this to really, go south for him. Nonetheless, I'm just a little surprised, I guess.
Although even though nowadays carbine memes are not as wild as they used to be if you know what you're doing.
True,
we have found some strats to make things a little more stable in that regard.
Yeah,
So-
we have some fun strats there nowadays with the bush covering and all. So yeah, obviously people are also fairly proficient in carbine. It shouldn't be any problems, let's just say it that way.
Yeah, if anything, if there's going to be an upset, it would probably have to be something serious, like Franklin jumping to his death on Father Son. It would have to be that kind of
Yeah, that is
major
true.
issue, and probably a few more things in order for MaxGentleman to take some sort of lead.
Yeah, like a 102.44 is not a bad time by any means whatsoever, but on the flip side, Demo, he has a 58.17. That is a rock solid time, I feel like, even nowadays with all the new strats. I don't know if he's going for any switch ropes or any of that stuff, but yeah, he definitely knows his shit in Trevor, so I do agree with you that this should be a comfy one for Demo. Let's see. Struggle for Max on the shootout, but obviously managing just fine. It's like maybe like 5 to 10 seconds behind. Not a huge deal yet.
So yeah, between stream delay, it feels like these two runners are pretty close. I did see that MaxGentleman did get a slightly later start compared to Demomute. And considering how close these two prologue cutscenes are, there's maybe like a second at most difference between them, roughly.
Yeah, I actually wasn't paying too close attention to when they did start the game, like how well on time they were. So may actually be a lot closer than things are looking right now. But
even then, they do look
obviously,
pretty close.
yeah, they do, and obviously the a pretty important breaking point is actually coming up already. The prologue skip. Do you want to explain exactly how that works, maybe for newer viewers?
Sure, I can do a rough overview. So the prologue skip is basically a way of skipping an unskippable cutscene. This works by Demomute's not going for it,
doesn't go for it,
but
sure.
Max is going to attempt it. I'm not sure which way he's going, because normally we take a much sharper route, but...
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Wow.
We're back in 2019, no prologue skips for any of you. I guess we don't need to explain strats that don't exist, but okay, interesting turn of events. I would assume Demo didn't go for prologue skip because he knows he's 4 minutes ahead, or 4.5 minutes even in terms of PB, so he's just playing it safe, not even risking failing it. And Max, I guess, he did go for it. I don't know why he backed out. Maybe just changed his mind, even though that was his way to go ahead.
Yeah, that is a
Not
really
sure.
strange choice to start it but not go follow through. Like, maybe
Yeah,
he realized he didn't have FPS cap or something working properly.
That could be the case. I really,
But even then,
really
that
don't
would
know.
pose an issue later on for complications when you do need to
True.
cap your frame rate to 60 to progress.
Maybe he just didn't have the 30 FPS one, although like with 60 you can also make it work. So I don't know. My best guess is that he just changed his mind, because for demo it looked very, calculated, pre-planned. He knew going into this he was not going to do it. Straight went straight immediately. But yeah, very strange. Second guessing for MaxGentleman. Okay, then I guess no real chance for either of them to catch up or lose a bunch of time. It's gonna be, I guess, Max did lose like 10 seconds or so.
Time, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Probably a bit more than that, considering he took an unoptimal pathing to trigger the cutscene after stopping. Because honestly, if you're gonna stop, shoot the gas tank, and then back out of prologue skip, you might as well drive the way we do for prologue skip anyway, and just not bail out.
Yeah, right. The way he, turned back onto the road there was a little bit weird. I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean,
considering the unique situation, I don't blame him for making a mistake like that, but it's still a mistake nonetheless.
Yeah. Guess we'll have to see how this one plays out now. Actually, not really changing. Like, that could have been a very significant change to the storyline that this race here offers to us if Max were to just like pull ahead by 40 seconds or so. By doing the product skip and Demo not doing it, and then Demo slowly having to catch up with this. I think it's safe to say higher skill level. But yeah, like that, we're just probably going to be looking at like a 15 or so second difference between the two of them, moving into Franklin and Lamar.
Yes, sirree. Franklin and Lamar, what basically is a solved mission for speedrunners. Just getting the Lamar boost, going for some specific brake boosts, not mid-drives, curb boosts, etc. There is not really much to comment on unless something serious happens, which I honestly don't see happening.
No, this is, as you say, it's a mission that we are just really done with. The driving mechanics were thoroughly explained many times, but it's like a rough overview. We're just going to be basically making sure we are staying ahead of Lamar as far as we physically can without mission failing to get the maximum out of his rubber banding. Rubber banding just basically means that, well, the game tries to have Lamar stay ahead of us actually, so we follow him. So if we go faster, Lamar goes faster, just like kind of try and keep the difference. And by optimizing our routing through these streets and actually taking various shortcuts, we, well, end up ahead of Lamar, which the game doesn't like, but obviously can only go so fast, and it's like towing him around this area here. So we can see both of them actually with a very solid drive. So no mistakes here whatsoever. It's looking very good.
Yeah, both of these runners seem to be handling Franklin and Lamar pretty well, which makes plenty of sense in order to get any good time, such as a 102 or 58. You do have to spend a lot of time on this mission between all your attempts, so it does make a lot of sense that both of these runners have this mission down to a T.
Yeah,
to be honest, I did not expect anything different.
No, me neither. I really wonder where, the discrepancy in skill will first, really be present. I don't want to say it may just be a difference in how much they grinded it, like potentially grinding also out for better like RNG on friend request or something on demo side. It's like a 4-minute difference. That's quite a bit. If I had to guess, I'd say like maybe something like father-son could pose a problem. Like I know when I had back like a 103, I used to struggle with father-son a little bit. Potentially like something like marriage counseling, the hill climb. Like there's a few things in Travis that are still fairly difficult, I'd say.
It is hard to say. My personal rule, thing I notice is, it feels like the further you get into the run, the more likely there is to be a section that'll screw someone up. So for MaxGentleman, I have a feeling he'll start out fairly strong, but might slip up later on, if anywhere.
Yeah, there's kind of the tendency we've been seeing, hasn't it? Just, oh, as Demomute spooks Lamar a little bit, where people tend to be, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but they tend to be a little more comfortable, potentially knowledgeable, or throw their strat knowledge in the early parts of the run, and then as the run progresses, especially longer segments like Trevor's or Third Way, the knowledge just kind of drops off a little, obviously, because you reset some runs, and then, yeah, you may have done, I don't know, like Prologue like 100 times, so then how often have you then done casing? Well, most likely significantly less, because it's people like to reset a lot, don't they?
Exactly.
Okay, and Max in the meantime also wrapping up Franklin and Lamar, and they're both moving into repossession now. Still fairly close, I guess. Like, they can still see each other.
Within like 10-ish seconds. I'm sorry.
Cannot blame you. How early is it for you, actually? 8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
Yeah, okay.
And I also had a long day yesterday. I commentated, what, 4 out of the 7 matches at least, and also had work. So, I'm running
Yeah, that was a long
on
one.
minimal rest right now. And
It's fine.
to be honest, I'm kind of looking forward to today being over so I can just fall apart. And that'll be okay.
Yeah, we do put work into this. But so do the runners, and looking at Demomute, he's getting the nice mid-drive power brake boost combination here to get up to very good speed already. Gonna head now to the stunt jump, hope no big good memes or anything, very good. And yeah, honestly, pretty much what I expected from Demo so far, just very, very clean gameplay.
Yeah, Matt seems to be following up pretty well too. Looks like he got the brake boost mid-drive combo as well. Clear he has watched the tutorial.
Do hope so. It does have a lot of speed on the stunt jump.
Yeah,
Does brake
out,
heavily.
so lands upright in the end, but it takes some time to get there.
Yeah, it's obviously fine, but like a rough landing like that, it can easily cost you like 5 to 10 seconds. And seeing Demomute already trying to get the launches for Lamar, looking a little mediocre so far, I want to say, these pushes.
Has a little trouble with the camera as well. Probably fat-fingered. Look around. Yeah, Demomute probably. Oh, he gets one okay launch, but he's gonna need. He would need a lot more than that to make this strat worth it. I think overall he might have. I'm pretty confident he would probably save time on this run by not going for fast Lamar pushes. Max is a turn to make attempts. I have a feeling it's gonna look the same way, because we're not seeing any series pushes so far, and I'm honestly starting to wonder if we'll see any later. Oh, it looks like Max is giving up.
Yeah.
I think he won't be getting extra Lamar dialogue here, so at the very least he does not have to worry about punching.
Yeah, exactly. It's obviously the old strat where we just, you know, at a certain point can abandon Lamar, go all the way ahead, and then no dialogue will play. Max seems to just be making use of that. Maybe doesn't feel too comfortable. Maybe hasn't learned the launch pushes yet. No shame in that whatsoever. Maybe even save time over Demo doing that.
Yeah. Almost certainly. Yeah. Done with the repossession shootout as quickly as it started, not even giving us a chance to comment on it. And now the same for Max, because I spent all my time talking about Demo's shootout.
It's fine, it do be like that when we have two people we want to watch, but we can see Demo go for the repo jump that we actually did talk about, I believe, yesterday during Deep Inside. See how he manages that, looking very clean indeed.
Max, on the other hand, missing the shot on the bike and having to go run after it for a little bit.
Yeah, it's always a little painful, especially because it's such an easy shot to hit on paper, but just a little bit of shaky aim can screw you over real bad here.
We all do have our moments, so.
Yeah, we do, of course. Demo jumping off here in the end to trigger the dialogue, and Max got cops.
Oh, cops is not good, because he is gonna have to lose them before wrapping up this mission.
It's been a long time since I've seen anyone get cops on this. What happened? Did he like spook an NPC or something?
I'm not sure. I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah, me too, I gotta say. Maybe someone in chat saw exactly what happened there, as I was obviously also looking at Demo's screen in the meantime. But yeah, very, very weird. Just shooting the biker off usually doesn't result in any NPCs getting spooked, so...
Yeah, it shouldn't. Thankfully, Max not really losing too much time, just had to slow down a bit there at the end. That could have gone a lot worse for him. Because usually cops are a run killer almost. But not this time.
Yeah, it's ended up being fine, although... Yeah, he's not happy, and... Demo already entering the tow truck, that is quite the difference now.
Yeah, these runners are now about a minute apart.
Yeah, even so. So yeah, not looking very, very hot for Max here. Obviously gonna continue trying. We know what like maybe a parked party or something could fix.
I don't think a body saves that much time, but it's a nice
probably
spot.
not. But you know, like we're getting there.
Max had a little bit of indecisiveness at that first intersection, trying to figure out which route to take to pulling favors. I know in the past we have changed which way we approach the impound from, but we've never made a first left, at least not as the meta strat.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I may just like, you know, also just be not 100% sure on how exactly this was meant to work. I don't know how much preparation you actually put into Summer Second Scramble 2. Or maybe if you put his preparation elsewhere, right? You know, he knows Travis has a 1 or 2 PB, maybe just improve these other segments first. Not sure what...
That would be a smart choice, because in any, in this tournament where, at least in the Swiss stage, your opponent gets 4 bans that you have no control over, it does make a lot of sense to make sure you have a wide portfolio of segment knowledge.
Yeah, precisely, and I wouldn't really be able to blame him for attempting that at the very least, trying to get maybe like a deep inside or a third way on top of his... I mean, he probably at the very least knows Travis and Countryside. We did, as demo goes for replay warp setup, we did, he was participating in SSS1, so he should on paper know most of the segments, but I think he was eliminated after 1 round, if I recall correctly, so potentially not as deep his segment knowledge. We'll see. Does have minimum 1 more appearance here in Summer Segment Scramble 2, so...
Yeah, that is one exciting thing to look forward to next week. After after the next round, so in 1 week, we will have 4 players be out of the tournament.
That is true, and another 4 at least temporarily out too, as they, you know, obviously will have made their way into the 3-0 group, I want to say, and advance to playoffs. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing like slightly less matchups from, well, week 4 onwards then. But honestly, as a bit of a compromise maybe if we need it, because there's still a bunch of matchups, the stake of the matchups from next week onwards actually is gonna be a lot higher than it is now. We're gonna have advancement and elimination matches, and I cannot wait for those.
Ooh, Max dying on the way to Chop. That is very unfortunate, because that's going to lose him another almost a minute.
Yeah.
That might be the final straw in deciding who's going to win this.
Yeah, that may actually have been the decider already. It would be painful, but yeah, Demo we can see managing very well here on the Chop drive, and Max is gonna have to get a random car now and drive to Chop. Luckily, the hospital on the hood isn't too far away from Franklin's house, so it's not the end of the world, but it is still very painful.
It's not the end of the world, but it's probably the end of the race.
Most likely, yeah. We do have to see, but yeah, like all the arguments we brought up before, things you could potentially fail or where RNG is maybe a little bit involved, isn't really gonna save him here. As we can see, Demo actually also go for the D-skip. Just a funny little way where we found how to trigger the cutscene that advances to the next section a little bit earlier by driving through a specific zone that actually renders the cutscene, having no dialogue playing. That's why he's actually going for the backup here for some reason. That's why he's calling the cab and then being close to D, which is why he's gonna leave the vehicle.
It
Not
looks
sure
like he's
exactly
having
what
trouble with it, but does get there.
Yeah, I guess he saw D's position and wasn't too confident in actually being able to get out in time, so...
Yeah, that was absolutely a backup strat.
Yeah. But I mean, he did manage in the end. Did still show off the strat. Didn't, you know, bring me in the situation where I want to start explaining a strat and, you know, then they both back out of it. He brutally murders a civilian. Wow.
Yeah, he's got. Hopefully, he will not get cops at the end of this mission, because that is something that can happen sometimes.
Yeah, I think he hopefully should be fine. And yeah, I think we might want to try and get an actual time difference between these two runners, maybe at the end of Chop, because Max now also, like, I think it's a little bit of a slower drive. There's quite a few unlucky traffic spawns, just to back out of a few brake boosts. Yeah, it's not looking too hard, as Demo is already on the Chop pushes, as Max just now will initiate the chase, and I don't know if he knows the D-skip too.
Yeah, I could see it going either way. Like, personally, when I had a 102-ish PB, I was not doing chop skip, although at the time I don't even think chop skip was known.
That was what I was gonna ask. Did it even exist back when you had a 103?
Hard to say. Probably not, because chop skip was one of the original Travis tournament findings.
Yeah, exactly, so there must have been like...
Oh I think God, back then I had like that was like when I had a low 1 hour, like somewhere between 1 hour flat and 101.
Yeah. So yeah, good chance it didn't exist. I think when I had a 103 I did go for it, because there was like a strat that once it was found I never really struggled with. Like, I saw many people struggle with it, you know, looking for different lineups and all. But yeah, I never really had problems.
But speaking of struggling, Max going out for bail and does get it. So that means Max did have a better chop skip than Demomute by a little bit. Of course, it's not optimal, and I legit thought for a moment he was going to fail, but
same
good surprise.
Bailout
surprised by there.
Yeah, bailout strat is super scary for me still, even. Like, I just, you know, make sure I get the proper brake boost and then just get out and walk towards D. But hey, I mean, if it works for him, then good for him. Yes, he did probably like save like 10 or so seconds with this one, I wanna say. Over the backup from Demo.
Really? Well, I guess that means we're gonna have to shoot your ass when we pick up our 40 stacks. You ain't gonna pick up shit.
Fairly boring section actually, as both of them are just holding W for a little bit. I will go ahead and write down the time with which Demo wraps up Chop, because that I'm actually interested about. He does have to maneuver his way out of traffic a little. A little sketchy, but all fine in the end, I think.
Yeah, with dialogue playing out here, that traffic should not be a problem.
Yeah, looking nice. Be like a
very good.
22. Oh, didn't actually, you know, reach the yellow dot. Like a 23 flat-ish. Yeah, or even lower.
Okay.
2302 mission pass screen. Gonna be paying attention, hopefully, if I remember, to MaxGentleman's screen and see when he finishes job. Although we can already say that it's most likely gonna be like at least 1.5 minutes, if not 2.
Yeah. Demomute going for the ledge buffer into complications does get it. Very nice.
Yeah,
while Max might be struggling a little bit with chop skips, yeah, as that camera shake definitely confirms so.
Yeah, he was not having a really fun time with those. I can't really blame him. It took me a while to get a hang of it too. But
yeah, even I still struggle with it from time to time.
Yeah, I haven't run Trevor's in quite some time, thank God. But I do want to say that I got fairly consistent doing it when I, you know, like a year ago or something, decided that it's also time for my ass to finally get sub 1. You know, did play Travis a little bit and managed to do fine, but yeah. Honestly, Max still managing quite well. He's going to initiate last drive now. That should roughly take him a minute, so yeah, he's going to be roughly 2 minutes behind, actually. Demo? Good speed on the complications drive.
Yeah.
Alrighty. little bit of running now. Obviously. Obviously, it's gonna be fine, I think. Demomute does look like he's just, you know, sitting on a fairly solid pace as Max. I mean, this last drop drive has the advantage of barely losing your time. Or unless you do a fuck up, you barely lose time because you obviously have to wait for the dialogue to play out fully, and we just like kind of fine-tune it in a way where we finish exactly when when dialogue runs out anyway. So all you really have to do is to avoid screwing up, and then you're fine. And so does MaxGentleman. But yeah, on chop exit, he's 2 minutes and 10 seconds ish behind Demo, and that's a lot.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Like this early in, accounting for their difference, already half of the difference in their PBs. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think both of us said it. We just kind of expected Max to drop off a little more towards the end, right? So
yeah, but I wouldn't call this quite the end yet. Going for old dive out strat, so playing it very risky. Interesting choice, I gotta say.
Yeah, he can be glad he didn't die yet. And as you mentioned it is not quite the end. He does have a 60 FPS cap, so thank God. But it is not quite the end of the run yet, and he's still, well, not still, already 2 minutes behind. So I am a little scared almost of where this is going. I don't know how good Demo's pace quite is, but it's definitely looking fine. So I don't think anything can really get in his way here. For the
yeah, I'm going for autosaves. Yeah, did we see him make a replay? Because I don't think I ever saw that.
Okay. Yeah, he did set one up after pulling. In the car, so no on-foot strats, I suppose. I don't know if he just is not fully caught up or doesn't like them, or maybe just used to full game. I don't know, but yeah, he does trigger the house cutscene as a consequence. Not like it matters too much. I don't know how much these on-foot things save. Like maybe like a second or so.
It saves more time on DLG than it does on father-son.
Yeah, I'd expect it to actually lose a little bit. Oh, actually, maybe it doesn't even lose on father-son. It's like it should roughly tie on father-son and maybe save you like a few seconds on DLG.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there was like a post that was made that actually thoroughly outlines where you, how much time you save where. But regardless, these micro things we don't super care about, as both of them are actually, you know, at least very close to Michael's house, but obviously on different missions. It's a rough crash for them all.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's not at a point where speed is critical. But yeah, that will still lose him quite a bit of time, crashing that early into the drive.
Yeah, exactly. The taco truck slightly causes Max to spin, but yeah, as you mentioned, the speed is actually really relevant here for the second part of the drive that Demo's on now, because you want to have as much speed as possible without spinning out or anything. Going into the turn so you get Franklin as close as possible to the boat, which, well, skips a bunch of dialogue and you know, makes him jump and climb on the hood earlier. Let's see if he manages. That looks kind of sketchy. And he fails.
Oh, that is unfortunate for both these runners.
Yeah, kind of both of them screwing up a little here. So gonna be a little harder. So yeah, as you can see, Franklin didn't start climbing yet, and Demo had to initially get close for this animation cycle to start. And now, because it actually, you know, happens as the game expects it to happen, there's gonna be a bunch of dialogue playing before Franklin actually gets on it. And instead of triggering the jump on the very start of the underpass, he triggers it as they're already out of it. So that did lose him a little bit of time.
Max now on the Simeon fight, going for fast punches. Let's see how many pushes he gets. That's one. Looks like, well, misses the last punch.
What is
3 times. There we go.
Simeon dodging like crazy. I don't think, I was gonna say, I don't think Max actually set up a replay warp. Doesn't look like he did. Nope, seemingly did.
Like it.
Was not running.
Does not even have autosaves on. Going for very old strats at this point. I wouldn't say very old.
Yeah, we're not
still
quite
old
there yet.
nonetheless.
Yeah, it's only been a few months, I suppose, since we actually figured this one out and properly documented it, so I can't even really blame him.
Yeah. Easy to miss something like that.
And also old sleep mode tutorial. Actually, I don't know if Demo did sleep mode tutorial after pulling, but he probably did.
I mean, you really don't need to in Trevor % if you want to be creative with things. Considering if you aim a gun while in a car, you can block
True.
phone calls anyway.
Yeah, it's not like you need it, but you know, it's more of like a comfort thing, I guess.
It's a convenience thing for the most part.
Exactly, exactly. That's a better way to put it. Demo going for, sector, I guess slightly slower, but no risk of accidentally going swimming exit. He probably knows, or even if he doesn't, he can probably guess that he's quite far ahead.
Yeah, it's a safe bet to make.
Getting some dialogue here, I don't know what that was.
Probably delaying dialogue so he can get the proper entrance with dialogue.
Oh,
skip.
the dialogue skip, yeah, and then he
But it looks
messed
like
it
he
up
does not
regardless.
get it, yeah. Has trouble even triggering the yellow dot. This is kind of rough.
Yeah,
Does
not a very
eventually
good
get there,
exit.
though. Okay, Max's turn to start the father-son sequence. Does get the early Franklin climb.
Manages. Yeah, but very good from Max, I gotta say. A little bit
Let's see if he
surprising.
can keep up this momentum.
Yeah, just this entire section obviously being heavily scripted, you do kinda rely on so you know you have to keep the boat a little steady so Franklin doesn't do what he likes to, it's like completely panics, but yeah, he does get the jump, and even though it's by no means optimal, it's like 10-ish seconds faster than Demomute, I wanna say.
It looked like the boat was in a similar spot to Demo actually when Demo got on, so maybe the rubber banding was a bit different. Max having a little trouble avoiding the scripted sequence, but is ultimately fine.
Yeah, he managing just fine. His Demo already on his way back, obviously grabbing these pretty good brake boosts, like using the power to suck the car underground and then grab the brake boost. I actually think he missed that one, but he's not quite flying, but he's still going fairly fast. Yeah, almost done.
Yeah, Demo finishing up father-son real quick. Oh, does trigger the old up, surprisingly.
Yeah, that looked a little wacky, right? And now going for the ledge buffer. Okay, it looked like a very interesting lineup. I do think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, just looked like he needed some adjustment, which he did.
Yeah, he went for the initial cover very early, just compared to what I would do. Took down the phone a little later. I don't know if he was trying to go for double text maybe, but yeah, manages just fine.
Yeah, very solid work from Demo. Did get a little unlucky with needing to hang out with Michael to open up the gate, but otherwise very good.
Yeah, exactly. And now making his way to the hill climb, and while he does that, we can see for Max he does get a significantly later drop off compared to Demo. So yeah, he probably ended up losing like 10-15 seconds or so on the cycles, which is a little bit unfortunate, but hey, so be it. And up the hill he goes.
Yeah, that looks like a very good hill climb. Just to the yellow dot in the air. There's a little character switch to prevent dialogue from progressing.
Yeah,
Very smart.
honestly, very solid. Like the hill climb strat that I was never like a huge fan of, but that you just like need to, I guess, properly understand physics in order to nail that proficiently. Where you want to keep your wheels on the ground at all costs, so you can actually continuously get the uphill momentum. And if you manage to get a good enough lineup, then yeah, this strat is hardly any difficult.
That, and you also need to maintain a low gear, so you can't just go flying at the hill and be fine.
Yeah,
you gotta like slow down for it just the right way.
Exactly, yeah, because if you are too fast, then obviously it once again have a little bit too much momentum for that to be comfortable.
If you have too much momentum going in, you will just straight up not be able to grip the hill, which makes it impossible to finish the climb.
Precisely. Alright. Gotta say, phone, I say, Goon Strat coming in here for Demomute, looking very good. He did press his on foot look back key, and then, you know, kept his camera angled forward, so the game considers you looking both ahead and behind, and doesn't know where to actually spawn the goons, because it wants to spawn the goons outside your field of view. And with that, this makes just
Max
climbs
decides
on top
to
of the car.
pump another car real quick on the way back.
I do respect it. And Demomute now has the RNG ahead of him. And let's see this.
Yeah, it looks like Max will be going for ledge buffer into marriage counseling as well. Let's see how that goes.
Hello?
Yeah, I am
Looks
curious.
like he is getting the open gate, so he does not have to worry about setting up a hangout. I think his initial part of the setup looks good. Let's see how he executes. Demo getting a bike, but does not shoot it for whatever reason.
He just didn't really see it. Yeah, he seems to be confused. And oh no, Max goes
Big air from
flying.
Max.
Max
I don't
goes
know if that's
flying.
close enough to trigger the mission start.
I don't think
Yeah,
it
the
did.
Franklin
No, it didn't.
marker is still there, so he's going to have to drive back and just walk into the marker. That is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and in the meantime, then we're actually not getting a bike, so he opted to just take
Takes
the Buffalo.
Wow.
Oh wow, oh wow. Yeah, that's a little bit unlucky, but I guess the Buffalo is still a fairly fast car. Maybe he can find a bike on the way that he can run over and pick up. Not sure if that's actually preferred at this point or not. But
Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah, like the Buffalo is a very good car. I personally would almost stick with it now. And yeah, he seems to be agreeing with that, so he doesn't take out the biker. Cool. Alright. Max, in the meantime, did manage to trigger after some minor hiccups, and making his way to the hill climb. Let's see if he can be as proficient about it as Demo was just a few minutes ago.
Looks like he's going in with a bit of speed, but looks fine. Yeah, very clean.
Wow. Very, very good execution for Max again. You can see that he definitely, you know, he definitely knows what he's doing, right? He's not clueless in any way. It's just that, you know, him being like just like a midfield runner, I want to say, and Demo with the 58-17, more like towards the top tier of things. It's just, you know, was bound to happen in a raw segment like Trevor's.
For sure.
Yeah. Just like a little bit of a small, relaxing section, I suppose, for the time being, as
Yeah.
Max just pulls down the house and Demo is just gonna hold W for a bit. The friend request drive is Max has a little bit of problems. The friend request drive is obviously in some way a little bit more exciting on a bike, as any crash could end up being fatal, but in a car just most likely gonna be fairly boring, and if anything, if you have a brutal collision.
Oh, Max
you lose a bit of
spawning
time.
in the guards. Not getting the
And-
look back strat. Right.
One of them goes flying as well, crashing into the other one. Yeah, failing Goon Strat. And if I saw correctly, Demo did go for the cat dialogue skip, newly found by Twisted. So very cool at that. And yeah, did take Max the couple extra seconds to take out the guards here, actually. Guards goons. Alright. Bike RNG for Max. This is maybe step one for him to come back and get back into this game a little bit. We'll see, but I do not see a parked bike or anything, so
Yeah, maybe I'll get something quick and be able to shoot it without waiting too long.
yeah.
Oh,
it's-
I see
it's
something
just
up on the
awesome.
road ahead, or on the road above, but Max completely misses it.
Yeah,
Passing on the bridge now, but it's too late for Max to go get it.
doesn't look like he actually saw it. Should be fine still. At least I want to say so. Yeah, no, he's actually struggling a little bit, as there's not many bikes available to him on the road, and he's running
Yeah,
for
looks
quite a bit. Yeah.
It looks like he's gonna have to just take a car like Demo did.
Yeah, he might actually have to. There's really nothing. He's not even really considering the other side of the road. So, yeah, and he's continuously running. He's really hoping for something to appear now. See, he's also just like not really trusting himself to properly stop one of these vehicles that are rapidly approaching. And he's still running. He's gonna run to friend request at this rate. No, looks like now he... No, still not. He's now running out of stamina. Now giving up, I think. Yeah, just steals the car. Wow, that took him a long time. Let's get a 9F though. Suppose we do take those. And honestly, I want to say it's a better car than Demo did, but Demo did get. But it also did take him like almost a minute or something to actually enter it. And I mean, has a brutal collision in the meantime too. Things are really not looking too hot for Max here. The slide, I don't even want to say just, you know, wasn't paying attention too much, but obviously depending on where exactly you put your eyes, you may or may not miss a bike driving away on one of the other roads. He was probably just paying attention to a different one. And that being said, it's really reaffirms the idea of this game being basically done and dusted. He once again runs into a wall here. Just not really a huge setback, of course, but just another one, and he also goes climbing on the roof. I don't want to say foolish, but a very classic mistake here done by Max. Alright. In the meantime, Demo did wrap up the boring mission that is friend request, and is now gonna watch some cinema. Let's see if he has some memes prepared for us. Doesn't look like he has. I personally am, of course, not against that. And Max once again spinning out a little. What I said earlier about Demomute does one-to-one apply now to Max. Is this drive isn't too interesting in just a car. There's no real thing that can completely screw him over, and maybe it's better that way, given the fact that he is already so far behind. We're almost probably looking at like 4 to 5 minutes at this point. Gonna be, once again, I'm gonna be noting down times for finishing friend request, just so we are all caught up a little. Making his way to the clothing shop. Don't think he's gonna go for Capstrat, but yeah, that doesn't look like he is. Looking... Yeah, once again, Max just... I'd summarize his gameplay. It's just like very collected almost. It's just like he doesn't go for anything crazy. He does the strats that he knows that are probably like a few years old maybe, but just does the stuff that he knows, does the stuff that he probably learned back in the day, and does not have any major screw-ups. And as I said, that he twice fails to buy a proper pair of shorts, so that is quite a unique way to fail in my opinion. But looking good so far, and in the meantime, Demo's already done. So the small discrepancy in the runner's pace here actually helping us out a little bit, because I feel like enduring just 2 minutes of cutscene, friend request cutscene, when the runners are actually head-to-head, that could be very painful for commentary purposes, but thank God they actually a little bit of time in between them, as Demo now makes his way to DLG, and this is where we're gonna find out whether or not he goes for a switch swap. I did see him set up the replay swap on friend request, but not the new one, so I would assume he doesn't go for a switch swap, just for, you know, the normal autosave warp. But, you know, like even with the old, like even without doing the replay warp to casing, he can absolutely still manage to pull off the switch warp and save time, right? It's not necessarily tied to it, it's just more so that the switch warp then enables you to actually go for the autosave warp, because you don't need to actually save after DLG, right? To pull off the switch drop, no need for that. As MaxGentleman now makes his way to the funny hacking game, where it's just basically the Counter-Strike experience of pointing and clicking. And Demo now runs into quite a few bikes actually. Wonder if he's almost like a little bit angry at that, so to speak, given that he was robbed of the opportunity early on friend request. But yeah, DLG is a drive that, due to the lack of Franklin's power, can actually prove quite difficult. Know that many runners don't really like that one, but Demo's managing very well indeed, and he's now arriving at the bike rental place. Not going for bunny hop strats, unfortunately. Just something that I recently discovered I don't really struggle with, but I know a bunch of people do, so race bike is just really the safe way to go about things, in my opinion. As well, you just kinda spam shift a little and then hold down space and go brrp across the pier. Obviously another one of those missions where we just comfortably ignore the game's telling us. Game originally wanting us to race with Jimmy along a predetermined path, but obviously we don't really care about that. And whenever the game gives us enough freedom to, well, kind of abuse, then we are gladly taking that. Demo slows down a little bit to make sure he doesn't run into a wall. We have seen a bunch of funny mission fails on this segment, and on this section especially. It's like, take a little bit too much speed, slam into the wall, mission fail. But it's once again just looking very solid from Demo as Max tries to enter his house with the car. That is a little bit too big for that, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking there.
Yeah, I almost want to say it's a little bit of subconscious muscle memory from doing it with the bike, but it does look a little foolish almost. And Demo did manage to spawn a boat.
One last thing about Trevor percent is, since we do start from prologue, nobody ever has to worry about, oh, did I set up the wave disabling or not. So
that is true, because we do actually enter. I guess for the people uninformed, we may as well quickly, as the NPC goes for quite a dive, I may as well quickly explain that, because we are running on a patch from 2015. We do not have waves, but this effect only actually comes into play once the weather changes. So what you'll see runners, or well, you won't see it, but what is happening in the background is that on segments like Fresh Meat, people will, before actually starting, go ahead and load into Prologue, because, well, Prologue has snow enabled, obviously, or just you can also enter the cheat code that, you know, changes weather. And by doing that, you can effectively, you know, manipulate, I guess, a weather change. But because in Trevor percent we start in Prologue and then go to Los Santos, the weather change is imminent immediately, so there are no waves in Trevor's anywhere.
Demomute once again for going for autosave warp.
Yeah,
So
I was
Max finishes
theorizing.
up friend request.
I was theorizing whether or not he'd go for switch ropes, maybe regardless, even though he did set up the replay warp in the way he did, not for casing. But yeah, he's playing it very safe, not going for any of the I don't want to say fancy new stuff, but given that he also didn't go for Prologue skip, right, just like probably staying away from anything that could potentially lose him time. Maybe didn't even learn replay warps, or doesn't know booty warps potentially. That's we've seen a couple of people do on third way. Yeah. A little bit long switch animation, I almost want to say, but
Thankfully that does not matter here, since in theory you can just do carbon text manip and not have to worry about texts at all throughout the segment.
Precisely. He did get the quick text though, which is where basically when you do switch to a character, and you start holding W too early, or you know, any inputs for that matter, the game will reset the internal text queue to 20 seconds from you know, what it used to be, which in this case would be, I believe, 7 seconds. So, well, you effectively save 30 seconds on the text queue, as if you just refrain from holding any inputs for just a second or two, which hardly loses your time, you will not get your text timer reset, and thus get the text earlier, which then enables you to get the next one earlier, and even manage to get 3 texts in total on this drive.
The Jewelers is on Little Portola.
Yeah, those 3 texts are all you need in theory to guarantee Carbon to spawn in even without a minute.
Know you're back in business?
Yeah.
That's what we do in full game when we need to clear out as many texts as we can.
WPP thing. Doesn't look like any Witsec.
Exactly. Yeah. For full game, we're obviously interested in getting all the texts because we will at some point later need them. But for a category like Trevor, where we only rely on the RNG once, it is sufficient, let's say, to just wait out. Not wait out, but to do the text manip. Basically skip any of the text, just manip us the correct one, and then even though the text queue after it has like 4 texts we still need to get, but we don't care because the segment is over, right?
Exactly.
Okay, Max, just like Demo, going for race bike strats?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't expect either of these runners to go for BMX, considering it's a high-risk strat. Like, Demo would need to because it's safe, and Max probably doesn't even know, hasn't even practiced it at all.
Yeah,
where he is right now. There are bigger time saves for him than going for BMX.
Yeah. I did slightly talk about it earlier, where I actually didn't really bother with BMX ever too much, but it is quite easy, so I'd almost encourage people to take a look at it. Even with keyboard and mouse, just, spam enter a little, and it is fairly unproblematic from my experience, so...
Yeah, I will be honest, it's not as bad as I used to think it is.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, Max! That
flying off the
brutal.
bike. Good thing he didn't die, because that is a possibility when things like that happen. And it looks like, based on his camera, he will be also going for the boat strat. Let's see how well he pulls that off.
Yeah, it does look like it. Let's see.
It looks like his camera position is a little shaky based off the mini-map. Does get it, though.
And also no sailboat, so thank god.
Yeah. One thing I've been interested in Travis is recently we found a glitch to make our characters go flying really far by basically ragdolling and then freezing the game at the same time. Twisted found a setup to, in theory, save time by doing so on pacing the duel store, and I wonder if we might see any of that during the tournament this year. It's still a very new, high-risk strat that involves a trick that is honestly probably controversial as well in the speedrunning community. Like, I feel like people have forgotten about it, but once people start considering really doing it in runs, I think we're going to have a possibly even a rule voting situation on our hands.
Yeah, we might have to. Exciting times potentially ahead of us here for us, because, yeah, this entire strat, it did look a little strange when we stumbled across it. Someone used it for low percent bad ending, and then we found that you can get pretty cool launches that way, but so far no one has attempted it yet in an actual run, so... We'll see. I guess we're just gonna hold off until it actually happens, and if it does happen in a tournament for the first time, that would be hilarious.
That would be very exciting, for sure.
Would arguably make our life a little hard, because then we'd have to, rush into that ruling a little. But how cool it would be, regardless. I almost want to see it still.
I mean, of course, we'd have to allow it.
Yeah,
because there's nothing against it in the SRC rules, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Looks like Max messed up his save warp. Did accidentally switch to Franklin.
It really is going from bad to worse. Yeah, it's painful for him. This Demo now finally wraps up casing, and honestly, he's looking at decent pace.
Speaking of pain, he will be now moving on to carbine rifles. One of the most painful missions in this run.
Yeah. We will see how he manages. It doesn't look like he went for... he's going for manip. Yeah, just gonna go for old aim strat. I wasn't really paying too close attention whether or not he got all text on casing, but it does look like he thinks he's fine at least.
I think he did comment that he did get 3 texts. Max also waiting for a text before switching to Franklin and getting the wrong hangout. Oh my god.
Oh.
I didn't even know this was possible. So, I think that's the first time in Trevor's history where a hangout warp is actually going to lose time. instead of saving it.
Most likely, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that one happen.
I guess it's a consequence of switching to Franklin.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's also something that, you know, it's obviously not happens very often, at least in Trevor's. See people do that a lot on third way, for example, but yeah, very unfortunate is then we'll just get blocked a little by traffic, but now manages to move on, and seems like he's doing fine.
We'll get there in the end.
See, we've had messy carbines in Summer Segment Scramble too, so I'm almost glad to see like a fairly clean execution now as the cops spawn. I don't think it's gonna get re-seen here either. Yeah, looking very
Yep,
good.
he is good to go. Good carbine for demo.
I don't know, it's basically, you know, already through to the last mission as Max is taking a little bit of a DLC tour to casing. I was gonna say, is he gonna copy basically the last drive in the actual mission that we're gonna be doing, but no, he's gonna take a little bit of an alternative route.
Yeah, it looks like he's meeting up to where the Trevor percent replay work goes, and we'll be just following that from here on out.
Yeah, just dropping down there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the best way to back that up would have been, considering it's a situation I've never seen before.
Yeah, I almost want to say probably just do the exact same route that we do in casing, but I actually don't know either. As I said, I don't think I've ever seen the situation unfold.
It's gotta be a unique situation. Anyway, Demomute now on to the final mission. He's got less than 5 minutes until he's projected to finish.
Yeah, he did manage fairly well so far. I don't know what exactly the estimate now is going to be for him, of course, but
yeah, it looks like maybe a very, very high 59. He has perfect casing, will set hour this.
Yeah.
Which is always good to see in a tournament setting.
Yeah, exactly. It would be very cool if we can pull us up 1 hour off here. Max, in the meantime, of course, I think he lost too much time to even be remotely in PB contention, but yeah, there's no way. It's gonna probably be looking at like a 105, 106 or something. Just a big shame, of course, but hey.
He's got about 10 minutes of gameplay left. My napkin math is right.
Sorry. Okay, it's all fine. some small tech issues on my end here for a second, but yeah, looking all fine indeed. Demo is gonna be grabbing the required cases here with the most jewelry and thus payout obviously for it. Taking a small jump here. Just to wait a little actually for the Dark to run out so he doesn't get the bugging bikes at the end. But yeah,
how will we not be going for fastest route here?
That's what I'm wondering too, because him not going for product skip, then I'd probably also not go for look back strat and just go for the old strat, right, which like kind of make your way across the like alongside the parking lot.
And yeah, based on this route, he's certainly playing it safe.
Yeah, and I cannot blame him in any means whatsoever for that, because even if he doesn't know how far he's at, even with that strat, I don't know how much time that says, like 15-20 seconds to look back strat maybe? Why risk it if you're so far ahead? It's just unnecessary.
It's true. You just want a clean finish, and I guess if you want to guarantee that sub-hour while you're at it. Although, with this strat, I'm not sure if sub-hour is on the table anymore. It might be very low 1 hour time.
Yeah, maybe not. I suppose we will see. I keep forgetting. Do you know how long exactly the final drive is? Like after you pick up the bikes?
I want to say about 45-ish seconds. I could be wrong on that though. I'm completely wordballing it.
Yeah, same. I have 40 seconds in mind always, but I don't know if that's actually true or not. I'm not very good at like knowing exactly how long X section is gonna take. It's always something you build up after a long time, but can't say I ran too much Travis in my life. Thank God.
Max, shooting the gun. I'm surprised that didn't mission fail him, but he is taking a bit of a DLC way of dropping down. I think you can just launch or jump over and be fine off of this ledge. Yep, there he goes.
Oh, he didn't put away his gun.
Yeah, that's gonna be quite unfortunate. My hospital warp, but yeah, that's gonna set him back a couple of minutes. That's kind of rough.
Yeah. Obviously, the hospital warp then would once again not help, just like lose him another few seconds. I still don't know how much it actually loses on casing, but do believe we've seen that before. It happened to someone else. I'm not sure. But yeah, demo. Yeah, actually looking as like a maybe like a.
Come on, get in.
There should still be sub 101, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so would have looked at like a maybe 120-ish or something, had he gone for the look back strat. But yeah, with him changing strats, it's like a little bit further away from it, but still very solid one, I want to say, from demo.
All right, Max's second attempt at getting off the roof. Now let's see how he fares. Go to the right ledge this time. Alright, it looks like he is remembering where to go a little bit better. Actually going to the correct spot.
Let's see if we can
And
put
let's see
away
this
his
roll.
gun.
Alright, good stuff.
Okay. In the meantime, demo time coming up. So 136, 7-ish, not sure exactly, probably not, 137. GG's?
Yeah, GG's, let's drag him in.
Yeah.
I don't care if you got money now. Don't you get it? That ain't what
Yo.
Alright, GG's demo.
Not then,
GG.
not now, not ever.
Man, that friend request, like, I can't believe it. I knew it was gonna happen, you know. I was like, I bet I'm gonna get the scooter spawn. That's why I took the buffalo, because, like, I just knew it. And I was right, because obviously you saw there's just scooters.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate, obviously, the classic tournament spawn table, but if it maybe, you know, calms it down a little, Max actually, he didn't have a shit spawn table. I believe we did see a couple of bikes drive past him, but he was very focused on his side of the road, and he's just like running for, I think, a minute before he also got into a car. So yeah, very equal for the two of you. I have one thing to ask you. We did see you not go for prologue skip or look back strat, even though you know both of them. It's just you wanted to play it safe, most likely, right? Because you knew how much.
I'm sorry, can we just interrupt real quick? Max just bailed out of Michael's car after going a DLC route for the end of casing the jewelry store. I feel really bad for interrupting this kind of your answer, but that we just have to take note of that because it's so awkward.
Me and Max, we agreed before the run not to do prologue skip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just made an agreement. We're like, you know, we'll just make it a bit like better for both of us, and we'll just not do it.
Bit of a gentleman's agreement. That's really funny though, because he almost actually went back on his word. He did shoot, stop and shoot the gas tank. Oh, you saw that?
He told me, he was like, I almost did it. I was like, it's fine.
It would have been really funny if he tried to go for like a double cross. Like, could you imagine?
I'm sure there were no ill intentions, so it's fine.
He's a good dude. I knew he wouldn't. Yeah, the look back strat, like, I've practiced that a lot, but like, I'm still not very comfortable with it. I'm getting better at it, but even when I pull it off, I don't seem to like do it very well because I end up like either getting the same time or losing time. So I'm still working on that, and I didn't have much time to practice GTA 5 as much as I want because been thinking of getting back into Red Dead, so yeah.
Very reasonable. Regardless, of course, very solid run. 137, probably a little bit low on your life split, so GG's.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say maybe to the audience, your opponent, anything?
I don't really know, really. I mean,
you don't have to.
It was an alright run. I think I might have been at a PB, but there was like a couple of things that, like, obviously I got memed on friend request, and there's like that on father son. So I would have like gone further in, but there was a pedestrian, and if I hit the pedestrian, it would have slowed me down anyway. So I think either way, I was kind of screwed there for Franklin. I don't know though, but there was that pedestrian spawn, you know, the one when you're about to like turn into the boat. Yeah, it's really rare, but it does happen.
Meanwhile, Max did bail out again.
F again. Jesus.
Okay, yeah, this is actually taking shape now. He does manage to, you know, get a clean carbine though, so no problems here on his end. Demo,
That being
you
said,
can.
he does look like he's stuck on a couple trees. Hopefully
It's
does not get
fine.
respotted.
It's fine. Demo, you may stay or you may also leave if you want to. GG's again. We will definitely see you again next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send me on.
Next week should be very exciting for you, Demo, as you will have a chance of. Oh wait, sorry, I got the
It's back
matches
in the
mixed up.
1-1
You're
brackets,
1-1 now,
Yeah.
so yeah, apologies for that. But yeah, that is nice not having to worry about being eliminated next round. You will, at the very least, make it on to round 4, probably round 5, knowing you.
Appreciate the optimism. But yeah, I don't mind staying for a little bit just to see the end of Max's run.
Sure thing,
Yeah,
we'd be happy
sure
to have
thing.
you.
Right. He also, in the meantime, arriving at the jewel store heist with the casing hiccups he had now. Probably more like looking at a 110 or something. A little bit unfortunate, of course, but let's see how he manages. I would expect him as he runs into.
Yeah,
What
it's
even
not
was
good.
that?
That's like 20 seconds lost with that kind of speed. Missed out
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
It's a
I don't
serious
know
breakthrough.
what happened in his run or anything because I don't watch the stream while I'm running because it's distracting to me.
That's
But
fair.
yeah,
Mm,
We can tell you though, a lot did happen. Like, let's see, he died on the way to Chop.
yeah, true.
I was like, I remember back then we were like, okay, saying like that was already the point where we were saying, okay, this is open and shut. But I think a lot has happened as well. Like, that's
Yeah,
not the only
just,
thing.
like in general, it's like obviously slightly less optimal gameplay, especially compared to you, Demo. Did have a little bit of a slower father son, even though you didn't even get the instant Franklin jump up. You did get it, but ended up still being slower.
I see.
Had
Yeah,
once, as we
completely
mentioned,
whiffed, I was about to say he did completely whiff the ledge buffer into
true.
marriage counseling, so he had to grab a random car off the street and drive back. That lost him a
was
lot of
painful.
time.
Then
Yeah.
obviously the friend request stuff, right? Like a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff happened to him too, and culminating in mission failing when jumping off the roof from casing, as he still had his gun drawn.
Right, that too.
That's always a painful one.
And even now he had a little trouble
Yeah.
getting out of the jewel store with enough money. But yeah, he should be on to the final drive. I don't think we're gonna see anything risky from him, so this should be a pretty straightforward end of the run.
Yeah, I do want to believe he's probably just going to go for the same strat that Demo went for. It's like, what do you even call that? I guess the old strat, as never mind, he's going for look back. Quite a lot of traffic. I mean, looks like it.
Oh, yep, there he goes. Ooh, but he's driving in the middle of the road. That is not what you're supposed to do there, because he could very easily get hit by a vehicle. It almost looks like he's tilting his camera as well with his mouse. Hopefully that won't be enough to mission fail him for not looking the right direction.
I think he's fine.
Yeah, he flips himself off and also moves his camera too much. Gotta be more careful with that strat, man.
Yeah, it's a little finicky, and also a reason why I still have not learned that. I did take a look at it when we discovered it for the first time, decided that it back then was too risky for me, and still haven't learned it. And maybe he would have been wiser not to do it either. So
yeah, at this point you just want to finish as quickly as you can. So I would have suggested playing it safe as well.
Yeah, but he goes for it again.
Yeah, looks like it. Let's see if he can. Oh, nope.
Oh, never mind. Backs out still.
He does do that beginning of the drive in a way where it's like he can't really tell which way he's going to commit.
Yeah, right. I just know myself. I just drop off. Not, I actually go through the hole on the bridge,
left,
from the freeway, exactly.
Oh.
Instead of just going all the way to the left, like you like most people do when they go for look back. So it did look like he was trying to go for look back again, but second guesses, and does probably a good decision and not trying that again. Not that I don't believe him being able to pull it off, but just to not necessarily risk it. He did lose already after all.
I'm still not a fan of look back, to be honest. I wish there was an easier strat. It gives me so much anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah, the level of complication that Trevor has reached in the recent times is just cannot be overestimated. Do you actually? Did you just like never? You really looked at switch warping demo, or did you decide that you don't wanna do that in a tournament environment?
I don't really think I want to be that competitive because GTA 5 is not like my main speedrun game. I just do it for fun. So I'm not like super like committed to learning or anything. But I might check it out and see see if it's like simple, and maybe I'll give it a try.
Yeah,
especially
it's more comfortable nowadays than it was like a year ago. So
yeah, especially now that I'm in like the
mission failed
Yeah,
quickly.
it
Max.
seems that Max has forgotten that with the safe strat, you do need to slow down a little bit in order to not lose the crew. So, once again, another mission fail from him. But
Yeah,
this
is
time,
painful.
there's nothing you can do to screw up.
Surely,
Surely nothing will go wrong.
surely, it's gonna
Maybe
be fine.
I think the only thing that could go wrong is maybe some Lester memes.
True, but surely not even that.
Yeah, that's very unlikely. Or maybe we'll get some dry ice clip tier chicanery, if anyone remembers the one clip where he managed to get cops after this section.
oh
I
wait,
actually
you
think I
can
did
get
know.
cops there? That's crazy.
Well, I wouldn't say you can, but it's happened. Like, it shouldn't be possible, but it has happened. Like, once in basically the entire history of this game. And nobody could explain why.
I think I've seen that at some point dug out by someone. I definitely wasn't around, obviously, when it did happen, but I think I've seen the clip or heard of it at the very least. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's been a while since I saw the clip, so my memory's a bit fuzzy. Something about blowing up a car, I think.
I really don't know, but hey, doesn't really matter. Does manage to, in the end, go with like a 112-ish, I suppose. It's gonna. Apologies. It's gonna be. Yeah, not pretty, but not too bad either. I just. It's just like, okay, we've seen Trevor's. Now it can very, very comfortably just, rest for the rest of the day. Like, I don't need it anymore. It's fine. Enough Trevor's for now. Enough Trevor's.
We filled our Travis quota.
Exactly. As we are now about to have time for Max. It's like a 1:11:51.
51, alright.
GG's.
GG's, Max.
GG.
GG.
Hello, GG.
Hey.
Yeah, GG.
GG. Yeah, I made a lot of rookie mistakes, and yeah, GG. It was a pleasure playing though. I had fun.
I do hope so. That's the most important part, right?
I don't know what's happening. I just, it's so sensitive. I kept getting out of the cars.
Yeah, it happened to you like twice, right?
At least, hopefully, it was a little bit entertaining.
It was.
Yeah, it caught us off guard at the very least.
Yeah. Thank you, Demo, for playing as well.
No worries.
GG's.